Hi, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Mew for Your Shoe lab activity and the things that you need to know about this. First of all, you're going to see this data table here. This data table has the two different surfaces, the waxed concrete and then the carpet, and those are the two surfaces that we have inside the room. The force normal, okay, I'm going to just do a quick little scroll here. Okay. The force normal is going to be the upward arrow, and that arrow should be equal to the weight. Now, in order to do that, you're going to need to take your shoe, okay, and you're going to need to use the spring scales. Now, the spring scales themselves come in a different range based on the kind of how springy the spring is. And so the yellow one has a maximum capacity of 50 newtons. So that's going to be the strongest one. And you always like to start with the strongest one, work your way down to our lightest one, which is the one that's blue, and it has a maximum capacity of 2.5 newtons. Okay, so you should have a set of spring scales to work with, and each person does this with their own shoe. So I'm going to start with grabbing a spring scale and hanging my shoe from it to get what the force of weight is. So this is my weight force, okay? And that weight force is going to be equal to my force normal. So now I know my normal force. Now in order to get the friction force, we have to know about the applied force versus the friction force. And our applied force is going to be equal to the friction force. And in order to do that, again, I'm going to set up my spring scales. Okay. Okay. And so my shoe is going to be here, and I'm going to pull with a spring scale, and I want to make sure that I'm getting a reading on it. And I'm going to get that reading when I'm dragging my shoe perfectly horizontal. So again, it needs to be horizontal to the surface. Okay. And it needs to be at a constant speed. Okay, so that's the two things you need to make sure you're doing when you're pulling the spring shoe, is make sure that you're horizontal to the surface and that you're pulling with a constant speed. Now we'll do the first trial with just the shoe. The second trial will be with a 500-gram mass, so you add that into your shoe. The next trial after that will then be adding a 1 kilogram mass. The next trial after that will be adding the ones there. So in other words, I have the shoe, I have the small mass, I have the large mass, and then I have the two masses together. So I should get the 4 trials that I need. And that should be it for that activity. Good luck, and if you have questions, ask in class.